What is time? Why does it always move forward? Is time even real? Or is it just something we feel? In episode 3 of the sci-fi series Tales from the Loop, a boy and a girl find a device that lets them freeze time. They explore a silent world, untouched, unmoving. But let's not focus on the boy and the girl. Let's think about everyone else, the people who were frozen. How do they experience time? They don't move. They don't get older. They don't think. Nothing changes for them at all. So for them, is time still passing? If nothing changes, there is no time to feel. Time is not ticking for them. It's not paused. It's simply gone. And that's when the idea hits you. Time equals change. No change, no time. Not even theoretically. If time is just the experience of change, then when the universe was perfectly still, before anything moved, maybe time didn't exist at all. Let's go back, before the Big Bang. Let's go back, not to the beginning of the universe, but to the place before beginnings, before space, before light, before even a single change. What was it like? There was no ticking clock, no movement, no energy, no difference from one moment to the next, because there were no moments, no time. It wasn't dark, it wasn't cold, it wasn't anything, because all those things are comparisons, and comparisons need change. This was a perfect stillness, what we call the static field, a state where everything is balanced, frozen, silent, unchanging. And because nothing was changing, nothing was happening. And if nothing is happening, there is no time. So what if time isn't something that flows on its own? What if time doesn't even exist, unless something moves? Just like what the frozen people experienced in that episode of Tales from the Loop. They didn't feel time, because nothing was changing for them. We've seen that before the universe began, everything was still. Nothing was changing. So time wasn't just standing still. It wasn't real at all. From that, we build our theory. We call it chronogenesis, the birth of time. In this theory, time is not a thing. It's not a fabric. It's not a background ticking away. Time is just what happens when things change. When you move your hand, when atoms vibrate, when a star explodes, those changes are what we experience as time. But without change, time disappears. It has no meaning. So instead of saying, time started, we say, change started. And when change begins, time is born with it. That's the heart of chronogenesis. Time equals change. No change, no time. Not even the idea of it. So when people say, we're getting older because time is passing, they've got it backwards. We're not aging because of time. Time is happening because we're aging, because everything is changing. It's not the clock that causes change. It's change that gives the clock its meaning. The universe isn't being pushed forward by some invisible timeline. It's just changing, constantly. And we call that flow of change time. So next time you feel time passing, remember, that feeling isn't time. That feeling is you changing. You might wonder, is this idea new? Have scientists or philosophers ever said that time isn't real? That it's just a side effect of change? The answer is yes, but only in pieces. Hundreds of years ago, a philosopher named Leibniz said time wasn't a thing, just a way we measure the relation between events. More recently, physicists like Julian Barbour and Carlo Rovelli argue that time isn't fundamental at all. Barbour believes time is an illusion, that only a collection of nows exists. Rovelli says time emerges from interactions between particles. And in quantum gravity, some scientists think time doesn't even exist at the deepest level. It only appears when things start to interact. So yes, pieces of this idea have existed. But here's what makes chronogenesis different. We start from a simple, clear truth. Time equals change. We use that to explain why there was no time before the universe. Not just that time didn't exist, but why? Because nothing was changing. We give that timeless state a name, the static field, and show how time only makes sense when change is happening. It's not just about physics, it's about experience. From frozen people in fiction to a frozen universe before time began, Chronogenesis connects it all. So we have a theory. We say time equals change. And before anything changed, there was no time. Only the static field, a perfectly balanced, motionless state. But now comes the hardest question of all. If nothing was changing, why did anything ever start? Why did the balance break? Why did one thing ripple or shift or move when nothing was moving? If there was no time, then it didn't wait. There was no when for something to happen. So, what caused the first change? Did perfect stillness collapse under its own weight? Was it a quantum fluctuation outside of time itself? Did the rules of the static field include the seed of its own undoing? Or maybe there is no answer, because before change there were no questions. Maybe we only ask why because we live inside the ripple, the place where change never stopped. And outside of it is just silence.